Eleanor Oliphant is completely fine. Woo! Yes. I am so jazzed to talk about this book, you guys. I read it when it first came out years ago, and I recently reread it with my cousin Michelle, who's also a psychotherapist. And having a conversation with her really helped to illuminate this work in clear ways for me. And I think that it's such an important read that is worth having a conversation about. And so I'm going to share with you some of my highlights, I would say, and insights about it. This is a book review, but it is no spoilers because I would not do that. But I will leave the conversation that my cousin and I had about the book, which is full of spoilers. So I will leave that conversation in the show notes below. So you can check that out if you have read this book. So Eleanor Oliphant is Completely Fine is written by Gail Honeyman, and it actually is her debut novel, which is quite impressive to me because I really think that it is a bit of a masterpiece. And we are in the world of Eleanor, who is a Scottish woman, and she is a Scottish woman who lives a very regimented lifestyle. And she lives a very solitary life. She's not really tethered or connected to any other humans except for her mother that she has like these weekly phone calls with. She has a very basic and flattering or like career ladder stepping type of job. She has her, nightly, I eat this on Tuesday, I eat this on Monday kind of world. She often goes back to her apartment with herself and she drinks vodka until she kind of passes out, wakes up in the morning and does the whole thing all over again. And so we get to kind of understand very quickly that Eleanor Oliphant, even though she says repeatedly that she is fine, is not completely fine, or I would say anywhere close to fine. This novel is written in first person, and I think I love the fact that Gail chose to write this in first person because we are so engrossed into not only the world of Eleanor, but we're able to experience what she's thinking and feeling at every moment. And for the reader, what that does is it really kind of has us wrestle with how reliable is Eleanor? How much can we trust in her experience that is authentic to herself of her life, of her past and of her present? And I think that makes this novel really interesting for the reader as we're going through her story. And I did appreciate that. Her world, this regimented, controlled world that she has created for herself, is interrupted when by an event that happens, and it shakes her up. And two events really that happen, and it shakes her up, and it starts to put her on a path that actually has her to question her own sense of okayedness. And that's done by by a character in particular in the novel that I'm really a fan of. But again, I'm not spoiling things here, so I won't give too much away. One of the things that I really came away with this book, and it's kind of like a psychological study as well, I would say, is really just being encouraged to explore the question of fine. This is something that we say in many different places around the world. There's some version of, how are you? I'm fine. Everything is fine. And this is something that kind of really pushes you to kind of engage on how often am I saying to myself and to others I'm fine, and how often and how comfortable is it for me to hear that other people are fine? Do we know how to deal with the moments and situations in our life when we are just simply not fine? The other thing that I was thinking about after reading this book is the word completely. Eleanor Oliphant is completely fine. And it just got me to think about, are any of us completely fine? Completely is a high bar, right? It's definite. It's a sure thing. And I think with any of the areas of the pie chart of my life, for me as a mother, a wife, my career, my friendships, my health, my finances, like, am I completely fine? I don't know. And so I think that kind of allows you, as we're witnessing her life, which is a life on the extremes of it. And when I say extremes, it is a life of that has a lot of trauma. Even if you don't have that, and thank goodness I don't have that, it still is a book that invites you to kind of contemplate and consider and probe against your own definition of fine, or your need to be like, hey, everything is fine. And so speaking of trauma, Eleanor is a woman who experienced a lot of trauma formatively. And I think the book does a beautiful job examining what trauma does to a psyche, what it does to a person, how it comes in, and how it helps to shape a life, and the process the process that one has to go through in order to start dealing with and healing that trauma. Michelle gave a lot of great insight into this, and there were some things in the book that was like a language that was used that I didn't understand, and I was really, again, grateful to be able to have a conversation with someone who has such knowing and such expertise. And I think also how it was really helpful for her to be able to read about this life, she as not as a patient, but someone that she was just able to observe. And I thought that was really insightful as well. So this is just a quick little plug for Eleanor Oliphant is Not Completely Fine. This is a great book. This is a good book to give to someone. And it is a good book to give to someone with a date saying, hey, let's meet for coffee or tea or drinks or dinner, even on Zoom, set a date so that we can actually talk about this book. That's something that I'm going to be doing, I think, in 2026. I think I want to gift a book to a friend and be like, hey, let's talk about this book on this time. Let's set time to talk about the book, because art needs to be discussed. It is an experience that you go through, and I really believe that the experience is richer when you're able to have a conversation about it, and your perspective is broadened, and there's more to see and more to deal with and to grapple with, because you have another perspective that is coming at you about the work. And so I'm really a fan of that, which is why, you guys, I've done books with friends. So if you have not checked out my books with friends, this is now your time to do so. I will link it in the show notes below. So Eleanor Oliphant is Completely Fine by Gail Honeyman. Do yourself a favor, grab yourself this copy and enjoy reading this book. There's lots of things to it. And even though it deals with heavy things, it's written in the way that life is. Life is a mixture of laughter and tears, of highs and lows, of new discoveries and the mundane stuff of life. And that's another thing that I like about this, is that she does a beautiful job capturing all of that. So I think in that way, it's delightful, it's energizing, it's painful, but ultimately it's so rewarding. It's a rewarding read. Yes. So I'm going to pause here with it, because I always have a fear that I'm going to say too much, and I'm not going to honor the fact that I said I was not going to spoil it. So this is me now stopping so that I don't spoil it for you, but me encouraging you to go check this out for yourself. I will leave in the show notes below where you can get this book. You can find it wherever you like to buy your books. Hopefully you're supporting independent books, because that's near and dear to my heart to do so. If you have not done so already, please like this video and subscribe to the channel. I'm trying to get to 100. That's my next little milestone. So I need your help to do that. And also share this with your friends who enjoy reading books. We are a sweet community, and so share it. And if you have read this book, please put your comments in the question below. Tell me what you think of it, and what I'm particularly interested in, how it challenged your view of fine, if it did at all. If you have not yet read this book, do so right now. Go get it somehow, like secure it from your library, order it, go to the bookstore, get it, read it, and then join in the conversation. I read each and every comment that is left, and I love responding, so please do so. And with that, you guys, I'm going to wrap this up and go, because Thanksgiving is next week, and I don't even have a list together. So that's a problem. That is a problem. So I'm going to go get my list together so that I can be organized and get all prepared for Thanksgiving. I'm wishing you a happy Thanksgiving to you and yours. And until next time, stay reading. Bye.